Don't you guys just love it when you send a really long text or a really substantial email, or you leave a really nice long voicemail to somebody and they don't respond? Don't you just love that? Doesn't it make you feel so special and important? Doesn't it validate your feelings? Of course I'm being sarcastic. No, we all hate it. We hate it when what we have to say doesn't get responded to. Even worse, I hate it when I'll send a long text or a message or something, and people respond. So you know that they've seen it and they respond, but they don't mention at all anything that you had said in the message. Oh my gosh, that drives me crazy. Last night, Chris and I did a one-night marriage retreat, and it was a small group this time. We've done a couple of these, but there was this man who came up to me afterward, and I think he just wanted to give me his 2 cents worth of marital advice, which I totally will take from him because he's been married almost 50 years. So give it to me. I'll take any advice you have to say. But he just wanted to share. And one thing he said to me was that, there is a difference between talking and sharing and listening. He went on to say that he wishes that universities and schools would teach people how to listen, because that's what's missing in our society. Everybody's saying stuff, but no one's listening, really listening. So, not that I'm an expert on listening, but that is for us when we engage in either face-to-face conversation or at this point, we might want to gripe about it all we can. We hate the idea that we are relying so much on texting, or we're relying so much on digital communication, but that's just the way it is, and it's not going anywhere. Things aren't going to change. So we need to learn to, instead of just gripe about bad communication, we need to work at improving communication through these digital means. And so one way to do that is to respond. Learn to respond to one another. If it's a text and you can't get to it right now, but we know that it's been read, just, hey, let me get back to you on this. Or if you have something you want to share, and so someone's left you a voicemail, but you have something else you want to share, at least acknowledge that, hey, you made a good point with that, or hey, that's really true. Maybe I can work on that, or whatever it is. Like, acknowledge what another person says. And one way to do that is to have a follow-up question ready. Even with my kids, like I'm totally, all my words have been used up sometimes by the time the kids get home from school, and they just want to tell me everything that they have to say right after school. And I just want to go, but that's not active listening. I need to be engaged enough to at least respond with a follow-up question. Oh, so what does that mean with this? Whatever, right? So a follow-up question. What that does is it validates the person who's speaking. It validates what they just told me, because I'm engaged enough to at least ask a follow-up question. And maybe I can't listen to everything they have to say right now, and I should say that. Okay, that's great, but can you tell me the story later on today when I'm not like in the middle of making dinner or something, So anyway, there it is. I'm just annoyed by bad communication, even though we just have to deal with the means of communication this day, but we can at least work on improving the means of communication. Listening. So there's a marriage tip from a guy who's been doing this 50 years. Listening. Know how to listen, not just communicate.